The joint meeting between the Council of Ministers and the Shura Council Office reviews efforts towards the employment of national manpower and government companies' governance and efforts to enhance the comprehensive development march. The joint meeting stresses on the government's priorities to support the role of Shura Council as main partner in national work and approves holding of annual meetings among the governors and Shura Council members. And the Oman Investment Authority takes over the management of 1 million palm trees project. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received a number of their Highnesses and Excellences, members of the Council, and the Excellences, members of the Shura Council Office, headed by His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al Mali. The epidemiological situation of COVID-19 and its impacts on public health, particularly as regards the spread of mutated travel-related variants of the virus and the resultant spillover in the Sultanate, as confirmed by local polymerase chain reaction PCR tests conducted on incoming travelers. In order to protect individuals of society from more exposure to this disease and to maintain the capability of the health system and enable health workers to keep the situation under control, the Supreme Committee took the following decisions. First, to extend till further notice the ban on entry to the Sultanate on incoming travelers from Sudan, Lebanon, South Africa, Brazil, Nigeria, Tanzania, Ghana, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, the United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, as well as travelers from any other country if they visited the above mentioned countries within 14 days from applying to enter the Sultanate. Second, to add incoming travelers from Egypt and the Philippines to the above mentioned list of travel ban countries, as well as travelers from any other country if they visited these two countries within 14 days from applying to enter the Sultanate. The ban takes effect from 9 a.m. on Friday, 7th of May 2021 until further notice. The decision exempts incoming travelers who are Omani citizens, diplomats, health workers, and their families. These exempted segments will undergo the prescribed procedures upon arrival in the Sultanate. May Almighty Allah protect everyone against all harm. The Ministry of Health registered 9 deaths and 902 new cases of COVID-19. It also registered 1,123 recovered cases. The total number of COVID-19 cases in the Sultanate reached 197,802. The total number of deaths reached 2,062. The total recovered cases reached 179,175. The Ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients during 24 hours reached 93, bringing the total number to 813, among which 287 are in intensive care units. The Jusur institution signed a cooperation agreement with Oman Cancer Association to fund a mobile breast cancer diagnosis unit mammogram in the Governorate of North Al Batna. The project aims to spread awareness in the community about the causes, symptoms, and ways of treatment of breast cancer diseases, as well as the significance of early detection of the disease, which will make the treatment process easier in addition to reducing its expenses. The unit will move around various wilayas of the Governorate to urge annual examinations. The project will also include mobile screening cabin for breast cancer prepared with the modern technology. This situation of COVID-19 has led to a severe decline in the number of blood donors, leading to a shortage of blood in the healthcare institutions. that have reached to 50% of blood banks serviced. The Ministry of Health is calling for donation to proceed to the blood bank and donate blood to meet the needs of the healthcare services. More details with Abdullah Rubai.
The coronavirus disease COVID-19 affected millions of people worldwide and caused disruptions at the global level, including healthcare provisions. Similarly, the pandemic has caused pressure to the healthcare system here in the Sultanate, and where it also led to a reduction of blood donors. Minister of Health, the Department of Blood Bank Services has indicated that there has been a 50% reduction in the number of people donating blood during the holy month of Ramadan, leading to the shortages of much needed blood for patients who require them at an urgent notice. Hence, a call is made to people in the country to voluntarily come forward and donate blood to save lives. Over 200 and 400 blood donors are required on a daily basis. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has indeed created a major hurdle for blood banks when it comes to finding donors. Many countries around the world are experiencing shortages in blood, which is required for many life-saving procedures.
It is very important for people to come and donate blood, as hospitals are in need of blood. The center is open in the morning and night. Please come and donate. It is very important to save life. Alhamdulillah.
Since the call was made, the blood banks has witnessed good number of people at night, more coming from different parts of Oman.
Hi, I'm from India. I'm a regular donor in Oman. There is a desperate need of blood in this pandemic. I would recommend everyone to come and donate blood. It's very easy. You can book an appointment. If you're non-Muslim, you can come in the morning. If you are Muslim and fasting, you can come in the evening. Book an appointment. Please come and donate.
More are needed to come in the daytime. You can either walk in to donate blood or schedule an appointment on WhatsApp. Telephone number 94555-648. In spite of raining and it is night, people are still committed to come and donate blood to save lives. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Ocean, Muscat.
To come on News Bulletin. Manchester City players were training in the rain to face Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League semi-finals tonight. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Top scientists at the World Health Organization, WHO, said yesterday that several countries which had reached vaccination levels of about 50% of the population were seeing significant reductions in coronavirus cases.
Country after country now that as you reach about 50% population coverage, you start seeing significant reductions in cases, and you see that reduction in deaths, even earlier as the priority populations have covered first. Now, a country like India has about 1 billion people to vaccinate, so this is not going to happen overnight. It is going to be a mainstay, and I think India has done well in terms of rolling out the vaccination program, in using the private sector and the public sector to do that. The limitation, of course, right now is the supply.
Meanwhile, Maria Van Kerkhove, WHO Health Emergencies Program Technical Lead, had this to say.
We are seeing some hopeful signs that vaccination is also reducing transmission, even though those studies aren't yet completed. It's about all of the other factors that are put in place. And the comments that we have for India are the comments that we have for other countries as well. There are a number of countries in all regions of the world right now that have some worrying trends that have some worrying signs of increasing case numbers, increasing hospitalization rates and ICU rates in countries that don't yet have access to the vaccine, who have not reached the coverage levels that are needed to really have that impact on severe disease and death and on transmission.
A mysterious explosion rocked northwest Syria yesterday, killing at least one person and wounding 7 others. The activities said the explosion occurred as an armed forces drone flew over the outskirts of the village of Fowa in Idlib province, the last major rebel stronghold in the war-torn country. The explosion occurred near a tented settlement for displaced people, but none of them were hurt. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the explosion occurred at a weapons facility for fighters from the former Soviet Union. An Idlib-based citizen journalist said the explosion was caused by a missile fired from a drone. U.S. drone attacks in the past have targeted fighters, mostly Al-Qaeda-linked militants. UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab praised the Biden administration for taking bold and very welcome steps on climate change, global health, and human rights. He spoke at a news conference after meeting U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
I think it's fair to say the Biden administration is barely 100 days old, but has already taken a huge number of bold and very welcome steps on issues like climate change, global health, and human rights. And that's really created momentum in efforts to tackle these pressing global issues.
The UK holds this year G7 presidency. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to London comes a day ahead of the group of 7 leading industrial nations' first face-to-face discussions in 2 years involving foreign development ministers, and Blinken had this to say.
It's also the 75th anniversary of Winston Churchill's famous speech at Westminster College in Missouri, where he described the special relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States and how vital it is for our 2 countries and many others around the world. 3/4 of a century later, that special relationship is enduring. It's effective, it's dynamic, and it is close to the hearts of the American people. The work we do together serves our people's interests across a vast array of issues, many of which Dominic touched on, including maintaining our national security, rejuvenating our economies on a sustainable and more equitable basis. I think our bilateral relationship is also vital to the world. The work that we do together advances progress on the most urgent global issues, and global issues that are having a real impact on the lives of our citizens, including stopping COVID-19, addressing the threat of climate change, defending democratic values and open societies.
A rescue vessel operated by a German NGO is currently heading to an Italian port with hundreds of rescued migrants aboard. The NGO running the vessel, Sea-Watch, said the Italian authorities have assigned the port of Trapani in Sicily to the rescue ship Sea-Watch 4, which is carrying 455 migrants rescued in the Mediterranean Sea. A spokesperson for Sea-Watch said the vessel rescued the migrants in several operations off the Libyan coast over the last weekend and attempted to reach European shores. And finally, Manchester City trained in the rain, preparing for the second leg of the Champions League semi-finals against Paris Saint-Germain tonight at 11 p.m. Oman time. City have one foot in what would be their maiden Champions League final following last week's victory in the French capital when Guardiola's men fought back from 1-0 down at halftime to claim a memorable 2-1 victory. However, City have suffered disappointment in the later stages of previous Champions League seasons. The last time they reached the last 4 in the 2015-2016 season were City narrowly beaten by eventual winners Real Madrid, and in each of the last 3 seasons the club bowed out at the quarter-final stage of the competition. This is the Sultan of Oman Television. Before tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The joint meeting between the Council of Ministers and the Shura Council Office reviews efforts towards the employment of national manpower in government companies, governance and efforts to enhance the comprehensive development march. The joint meeting stresses on the government's priorities to support the role of Shura Council as main partner in national work and approves holding of annual meetings among governors and the Shura Council members. And the Oman Investment Authority takes over the management of 1 million palm trees projects. And that's the end of the news from all of us here in the newsroom and the studios. Good night and stay safe.